Thanks, guys. Great cast on the day. I'm here with Smoothie after a very successful weekend. You know, last week you guys had a bit of a more tough week. You know, a little bit of a slower start than maybe some C9 fans were expecting, but you seem to have picked it up this week. Kind of what changed and what are you guys trying to build on for this season?
I think, like what you said, the biggest thing was us incorporating playmaking supports in our meta. We kind of were stuck in the past. Like, we always won lane with like our Lulu and Karma and stuff, but we didn't really incorporate these new supports that we are really strong right now because of Doran Shield and stuff.
So how do you feel about the playmaking supports? You know, we talked a little bit last year about kind of like the MVP race and how it's hard for supports to win player of the game and MVP and everything with these passive supports. Now that all the playmaking supports are in there, what do you think about them? And are you gonna get MVP this time?
I mean, that's the goal. But I love playmaking supports. I've always been like not a fan of like passive supports like Janna, Lulu, Karma, and stuff. But I've always just spammed like, you know, like playmaking supports like Bard, Thresh, and Solo Q. And it's really, like, I love this meta a lot because it's really fun for me.
Any thoughts on the Sejuani support? We're going to see you bust that out sometime?
I mean, it didn't really do anything in the game one, so I don't think I'll be playing that. But, yeah, I like that diversity for sure.
All right, so no Sejuani for you. You know, speaking a little bit about this series, you know, game one was pretty insane, a crazy long game. You know, a lot of that obviously comes down to like shot calling, deciding who's going to go where, who's going to defend the split push, who's going to kind of like push out, and how do you guys manage that? Like, you know, you talk about being a shot caller in the team. Is it you making a lot of those decisions in the late game, or how's the team really managing that base defense in game one?
Well, definitely not. It's not me that's doing everything. Like, of course, everyone has their own voice. That first game, we made a lot of mistakes, and that led to us being like pressured by split pushers 24/7. So that was just our bad, of course. But yeah, everyone has a part in like that kind of shot calling because, you know, they know how strong they are. We just know the limits pretty well.
Cool. Well, team effort. Congrats on the great weekend, and we'll see you back next week. We're gonna hand it over to the guys at the desk.
Thank you very much. I am a guy at the desk. You're a guy at the desk. We are two guys at the desk. It's time to talk about Cloud9 winning 2-0. What? Huh? I didn't hear what you said, but that's okay. Wonderful. So yeah, Cloud9 2-0 in, as Zyrene mentioned, the slowest and fastest games, respectively, of the split so far. And I gotta say, I mean, Cloud9 can win long games from behind. They can win fast games from behind. What can't Cloud9 do?
Great versatility out of this team. Apparently, the only thing they can't do is get a lead in this series. They tried game one. They almost got it before falling behind. This time, they just gave up the lead right away. And the faster they give up the lead, the faster they can come back, so they win very quickly.
All right, good. So that's why they lost their first two matches. Now they can just reverse sweep the LCS and make it to Worlds at the end of it all. So let's talk about how this game broke down, because, again, very fast one that Echo Fox got off to an amazing start with.
Yeah, I think it's actually, you know, something that's a credit to them is how they're able to constantly get these kind of leads. We see a couple early fights that go their way. CONTRACTZ, he had a couple mistakes. There was that one fight where he kind of took his root caller back in instead of running back up to the Jarvan, who had priority in his lane. So that kind of led to this scrappy 1v1. And then they were able to get a big fight off in the top river again, showing that they know how to use their ultimates very well.
Yeah, so first replay up for us is 12 minutes into this one. Echo Fox getting a 3-for-0 in the river, and again, there's going to be a lot of these at the beginning of Echo Fox winning.
So this time, this is not the play I was talking about where he didn't mean to take the root caller. This looks like a good fight for C9. I understand they think they have these guys surrounded, and they're going to get in there quickly. Smoothie's also moving up, so they think they have this 4-for-3.
But Tom
Kench is able to bring the 80 carry in, making it a 4v5, and then a great wall off by Talia, trapping in multiple members of C9, forcing their flashes to get over the wall. Breaks it down so his team can just run through it, save their flashes for the actual chase down, and they're able to win this fight extremely quickly as you see Sneaky just kind of stuck on the bot side trying to push up as best he can.
Yeah, and he does manage to actually get first turret off this one. There was an interesting miscommunication where Looper decides to let his minions die to the turret, and it's like 5 HP left, and Sneaky like edges in first turret gold for himself. There's like a little bit of, you know, misplay coming in there. There's a minor
There's
thing,
some times where like you want the wave to bounce back for a lot of macro reasons, but it's rarely worth giving up the bonus gold from the first turret advantage. So right. I agree, a bit of a mistake there, kind of probably not aware of exactly what was going on the bot side of the map.
So a miscommunication issue there from Echo Fox in the early game, but you know, maybe didn't really determine the outcome. Either way, we do have one more replay to show you, the 20-minute Baron fight that C9 ends up smashing and take the game over.
This is a tough one because Talia is great at zoning away with the amount of zone control she has, as well as the fact that her ultimate can block off the entrances. Once he gets forced out of the fight, they're really not that strong, and you see Sneaky force them to choose between finishing the Baron and dealing with him, and they make the bad decision of not dealing with him. So Sneaky's able to get huge stuns off, dealing damage the entire time. Murray eventually gets past that Talia because she was too low. They clean up this fight, and then they're able to take the Baron as well and instantly swing the game back in their favor.
At this point, it's still like 5 to 10 in kills. They're like pushing into the mid lane for the Nexus kill. You can see just that incredibly sharp gold graph right there. 20 minutes in, Baron spawns, and Echofox loses the game immediately.